down to Tazewell to visit Papa a little bit today. My sister came down and brought my nieces and nephew, and they stopped by the house a little bit last night and visited. And I mean, and the shame of it is I had a really good ride yesterday, aside from like worrying about how this GoPro was working and all that, you know. I mean, I didn't push myself over my ability. I didn't take the bike to nearly its ability. I think my comfort level, my ability level ends about, my 10/10 would probably be the bike's 6 or 7. I've scraped the pegs a few times, but it's not a regular thing. Oh God, that bump was hard. I mean, I think it rides okay, you know, aside from the worn out, shagged out rear suspension, which, you know, I've known about it for a while now. But the progressive springs that I put on the rear last year, or excuse me, the front, they're pretty good. I don't know exactly how they're supposed to feel. You know, this is the only street bike I've ever had. So I came up riding 3-wheelers with no front suspension except for the 83-185S, which had front chocks. Then went to 4-wheelers with a, I don't know, 80s or early 90s YFM 100, which technically had shocks, but the way the front axle was, it was just like a you know, single bar, big old like I-beam basically. So I mean, you had suspension, but you didn't really have suspension, if you know what I mean. And then a Bayou 220, which I think might have had independent front, and then it had 2 shocks on the rear. That is a big, is that a Vulture? It had 2 shocks on the rear, but it had a 1-piece rear axle. So you kind of lean, but it wasn't really true, you know, independent suspension or anything like that. And it was geared really low compared to the 185S. The 185S was pretty freaking fast from what I remember. I mean, of course, you're looking at it through rose-tinted glasses, but you know, it was brisk. I loved that thing. The only problem is it didn't have reverse, didn't have electric start, and my dad swears up and down that it had a compression lever, so it make it a little bit easier to start, but I don't know. But I missed that thing. Out of all of them, that's probably the one I missed the most and would love to have back. He also had like a 77, 78, 79, somewhere in there, ATC 90. It was fun. It had like the low range, high range, and all that stuff. But I don't know. Just the 185S was a whole other type of thing. You know, I mean, of course, you know, everything feels fast when you're a kid riding on a gravel road, you know, but that sucker, it felt fast. Then the 100, my little Yamaha 100, it I believe it had a 4-speed, of course no reverse, electric start only. I got that, I'm wanting to think 8th grade. It could have been 7th, but I'm wanting to say 8th. And I rode that little guy, man, it was bad. One time I was coming up over like a hill, and there was a rock, and I had my foot brake engaged, and it just caught the rock and bent it all to pieces, and all that good stuff. My papa, he repaired it. He also repaired something in the motor. I can't remember if it was the transmission or what, but something like that. And then my dad got me 4 new tires for it, and the tires for the rear were huge. They were really tall, and it was like, I mean, I had that sucker, you know, in 4th gear. It could have really used a 5th, but you know, I had that sucker in 4th gear, just, you know, I don't even know if it had a rev limiter. I don't think I ever floated the valves or anything, but it was definitely, you know, at the limit of what it could do. Because I mean, you know, you get up to the top speed and you're just there. So yeah. Let's see. Pull off in somebody's driveway here. Oh no, I see it's still recording. Okay. Then the Bayou 220, Dad got that, you know, to kind of still ride with me. He would ride with me and my sister. It was a good four-wheeler, I thought, but again, it was geared really low, had shaft drive, which I thought was fine, but it had shaft drive, and the way it was geared, it just I don't know, it just didn't seem to, I don't know. I mean, I liked that it had reverse. I liked that it had electric start. And I did accidentally roll it over one time and get it stuck trying to make a path to get onto the little logging power company roads that we used to ride on, and messed up the handlebars a little bit and stuff like that, and kind of felt bad. But I mean, it genuinely was an accident. I had to use a come along to get it. There was a tree that was down sort of in, it wasn't a yard, but like behind the house. Hurricane Hugo came through and knocked that tree over, and after it rolled, it kind of got jammed up in a tree and then rolled backwards into like these, like where the hole where the roots were. So it was stuck in there. I could not get it out. It was insane. I hear my Facebook Messenger ding, and I don't know if it's Sarah or my sister telling me that she's almost to the nursing home. I don't know, but yeah, you know, so I rode friends' dirt bikes, cousins' dirt bikes, so you know, I'm not sure exactly how soft, how you know, what shocks on a road bike are supposed to feel like. I don't know. You know, this is the only one I've ever had. I mean, it feels okay, but I think what's psyching me out so much about it is those rubbery turn signal stocks that I've got. Because I mean, you can see them bouncing every little, you know, something I hit. I mean, the shocks seem to be doing whatever it is they do, you know, rebound, absorbing the holes, whatever. But you know, when you've got those little things jiggling up and down like crazy, you're like, oh God, you know, is something wrong? I mean, I don't know. Bike seems okay, stable wise, you know, but I don't know. I don't know if I'm pogoing up front, if it's abnormal. I don't know. Maybe I'll see if Dad will let me take his Rebel 500 up the road or something sometime to kind of just figure out, you know, if my bike's screwed up or if I'm just, you know, insane, whatever. I don't know. There's no stop sign here, so. Oh God, my back is still sore from riding yesterday.